Good morning, guys, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Myra. This is a little bit of a different view than usual. But if you're not new here, welcome back. So today is market day. I am super excited. It is Saturday, July 12th, and we are up ready to start the day and to have an amazing day. It is currently 8:30 a.m. I had to stop at Starbucks because I am probably not going to eat until my boyfriend goes to visit because there's only one food truck there and I don't know what it is. I'm very, very picky when it comes to food. So I just want to have like my morning coffee, breakfast, and then I did bring some snacks for throughout the day. So I got everything ready. Well, my boyfriend packed everything and I am feeling really nervous. Last night I couldn't go to sleep. To tell you, I went to sleep at 1 a.m. and I had to be up at 7. It did take me about an hour to get here, and I'm still not there. It's about 10 more minutes. But yeah, I had to come to Starbucks first. And to tell you that the only drive-through around here is where I used to work at Michael's. This is the same shopping center where I used to work at Michael's when I was in college. And it's bringing back so many memories. I haven't been here in so long. But yeah, we are ready to get the day started. Like I said, check-in was from 7:45 till 10:30. But I wanted to get here early, so I ended up leaving like at 7:30 for my house. Just I'd rather be here 3 hours early if that's the case versus running low on time and having to rush. Can I have a grande Java chip with no whipped cream, bacon, Gouda, and egg? And that'll be all. Yeah. Thank you. So yeah, I would rather be super early to the venue than late because I don't know how anything is set up. They did give me directions of where to park. You have to park, get everything down, and then go back and park your car somewhere else. And so I will see you guys when I get there. Hey guys, so we're officially set up. I don't know how often I'm going to get on here to talk because we're very close together, all of us, and I get really shy recording myself, but I'm done with the setup. It is 10:15. The event, I think the VIP comes in at 11 and the general admission is at 12. So we'll see how everything goes. I think I'm going to walk around. I'm definitely going to go use the restroom before it starts because I don't know what time my boyfriend is going to get here with our son because they're going to walk around and stuff. But this 6-foot table is actually like pretty easy. It would have been a lot harder and it would have taken me a lot longer if it were a 10 by 10 space. But the 6-foot table is really good. So I did a walkthrough and they have so many cute things. I don't want to walk around because I know I'm going to buy things and the point is for me to make money, not spend money today. I would do a check-in, you guys, but it's so loud. Look, they're so cute! Hi everyone, so today we are doing a recap to 2 markets. I usually separate the markets by video, but these were less than a week apart. They were 6 days apart, and I decided to put it together because it's just going to be a recap. I didn't get the chance to record me setting it up just because I don't have like a specific tripod for my DJI yet. And also because I didn't get the chance to record at all during either of these markets because one, I get super shy recording around people. And the way the first market was set up, we were really close to each other, like table to table. And it wasn't like a 10 by 10 space. So I get pretty shy and a little bit like awkward when I'm talking to the camera. So one, I didn't record because of that, and two, the music was really loud throughout the entire thing for both of these markets. It was just like a really nice vibe, and I just want to talk you through everything that I sold, how it went, if I would do it again, things like that. I'm just gonna break down everything. So if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Myra. I am a nail tech content creator and a small business owner. CraftsxNine, where I sell my nail supplies, and CrochetwithMaira, where I sell my crocheted plushies and accessories. Ever since my very first market, if you didn't know, this is the first year that I've done markets. I have been crocheting consistently for less than a year, and I just jumped in and decided to do markets right off the bat, and they are super fun to do. I've had great times in all of my markets, and all of them have been profitable so far, which is a great thing. I live in the Bay Area, and none of these markets, I've done 4 markets up until this point, none of them have been less than like $150, whether it was a 6-foot table or it was a full 10 by 10 table. But that is just how they are around this area. I religiously watch other YouTubers that set up and recap and also market prep and stuff. And, you know, a lot of them say that markets around their area are like 20, 30, sometimes even free. And I have yet to find a free market around here. But if you guys have any suggestions or know of any, I follow a lot of Instagram pages of organizers and stuff. That's kind of where I find mine. And I will make a whole different video letting you guys know how I find markets, everything that you need for markets. If you guys are interested in a video like that, based off of my experience and my past 4 markets, just let me know. Leave me a comment down below if you're interested in a video like that, and I would be more than happy to do so. But ever since I did my first market, I have this notebook, which is customized with my logo, Crochet with Myra. I bought a banner right off the bat just because I wanted to showcase who I am and what I do. I will insert a picture of my banner right here. I got a tote bag with my logo on it with the same one, and it's all white, and I use my tote bag for everything. I got this little mini notebook which has worked so well. I do have an iPad which I use for my patterns and stuff, but I don't want to take it to every single market because I already have enough taking, you know, everything else that I take, my camera, my phone, and things like that, that I don't want to have to take another thing, another electronic. But I choose to do it on a notebook because it's just like everything's in one place. I don't have to charge it. I'll have it right here. I don't have to open it up or anything like that. It's just fast and convenient. Since the beginning, written down everything that gets sold. As soon as someone buys something, I make sure to write it down and how much they bought it for. Now, the first market was on a Saturday, July 12th. And this one was Boo Boo Fest. So this was all things Labubu. It was at a convention center in San Francisco. And I am pretty familiar with SF because I used to live there when I went to college and when I went to cosmetology school. So I kind of, you know, I know my way around SF pretty well. I did get there really early. The setup time was at around like 8, if I'm not mistaken. So I did leave my house a little bit before 7 because it takes over an hour to get there. Even though it was a Saturday, there was no traffic, but it is kind of far from where I live. And I had, you know, enough time to set up and unload. Now, keep in mind that this market was only a 6-foot table. I have never worked with only a 6-foot table. I've always done 10 by 10 like feet of space. So it gives me room for like, you know, as much as you need. 3 tables, 2 tables, whatever the case may be. You get to design it by yourself. But this particular market was a 6-foot table, just alone, like literally one 6-foot table, a chair behind it, and that was it. They actually, I didn't even know that they provided the table covers. So everybody's table covers were all black, which I thought was like nice because it looked really cohesive. But you know, if you're used to using your own different colored table runners, table covers, and stuff like that, then obviously it's not nice. But for me, I didn't mind it because I thought everything looked really cohesive. But I did take my pink table covers, which is what I always use. I actually had one for a 6-foot table because back when I first started doing markets, I ordered a 4-foot table cover, a 6-foot, and an 8-foot from Amazon. And I just never even used them, and I never returned them either. So I had them, which was great. I took it, but there were already table covers there. So I just took it for nothing, but it's fine. Like, this place was big, right? There was Labubu vendors. I saw about, I think it was like I want to say three crochet tables. I met all of them. They were super nice. And, you know, we talked about patterns and we talked about what we were selling and things like that. They were all super, super nice. They had so many Labubu props, like for pictures. They had Labubu giveaways. It was super interactive and just so much fun. There was so many kids. So I made Labubu keychains and stuff specifically for this market. But I also knew that most likely they were going to spend their money on real Labubus. There was some going for like $500, $600. So I kind of kept that in mind, like, you know, maybe they won't want Lafufus. But they also appreciated that it was handmade. And I did get a lot of sales for the keychains. I got to walk around when my boyfriend and my son went to go visit me in the day. I got to walk around and I got to see everybody's booths finished and everything looked awesome. In the middle, they had like a giant table full of like Labubu coloring pages and activities for kids. They had bingo 3 times throughout the event and everybody could play, and the winners won like Labubus. They even gave like the huge ones. So it was a really interactive and fun event for all ages. This was a perfect opportunity for people to show off their Labubus. People had them in like little baby carriers and they had like Zimomos in it and stuff like that. It was really, really fun to see. So this Labubu Fest was from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And look, you guys, when I do a market, I tell my boyfriend that my goal is to sell at least one thing, okay? Like one item. Okay, that's my goal. After this goal, my goal is to make back what I spent on this market. Okay, then after that goal, it's to make profit. But I don't like to say like I want to make a certain amount of dollars because I feel like it's just going to jinx it and it's not going to happen. So that is my goal for every market. Make one sale and make back what I spent on the booth. Low standards maybe, but I like to say that because I don't like to say a dollar amount and then not happen. You know what I mean? But yeah. So I'm going to go through everything that I sold, and let me just say that this booth was $180. I did buy the booth for $150, and then I bought a vendor pass and an extra chair for my boyfriend because he was supposed to go with me to the whole event, but my parents were out of town, and so they weren't able to watch our son, and my boyfriend stayed behind. But I did basically pay for the chair for nothing because he only went for a little bit to go visit, but he didn't stay as a vendor with me. I was a little scared because this is the first time or the first event I've ever done by myself, but I wasn't too scared because it was only a 6-foot table and they also provided the table and the chair, so I didn't have to take any, which was great. So I made back what I spent within the first 2 hours of the event, which was awesome. So VIPs were allowed to enter from 10 to 11, which was great, right? Because it was an extra hour of like the people that paid a VIP to go in. But I also kept in mind that they were going to zoom in and go straight for the Labubus, which they did. So from 10 to 11, I didn't make any sales. Yeah, from 10 to 11, I made 0 sales. I saw that they went straight for the Labubus, straight for the Zimomos, straight for what they wanted to go for, the Sunny Angels, all of that. They went straight for that. And so I was kind of like sad. I was like, maybe I'm not going to make any sales today. But trust me when I say that from 11 to 12:30, I made back what I spent on the table. So it was great. So within the first hour, I sold 2 Labubu hats, 1 fish, 2 peeps, a mushy boy, a duck, a rat, a kangaroo, another rat, and my blueberry cow. So my most popular items for most of my markets are the 1 for 6, 2 for 10 items. And at this market, I did have $5 items. So those were very popular. And my Labubu hats, they were super popular as well. After 1 p.m., I sold a Labubu keychain, a duck swing, an opossum, a turtle swing and a duck swing, a blue ninja turtle, a blueberry and a corn, 2 Labubu bucket hats, a giant ninja turtle, and a giant duck, another Labubu hat, and a seahorse. So I was really happy that my Ninja Turtle sold. My mom made them, I think, like 2 markets ago. She made 3 of them. One had already sold, so I had 2 left for this market, and then 1 sold by 1 p.m. At 2, I sold a mallard duck and then 2 swings, or 2 animals on a swing. I didn't write which one it was, I just forgot, but there were 2 animals on a swing. At 3 p.m., I sold my red Ninja Turtle and a rat. So my Ninja Turtles sold out. At 4, I sold a turtle on a swing, and at 5, I sold a large blue turtle, 2 pandas, 2 whales, and a peep. So overall, it was a really successful event. I was really happy how everything went. I was exhausted as always after my market. I literally get home and I sleep until really late the next day. And even though it may not seem like a lot, like I'm basically just there for a few hours, no, it's a lot of setting up, it's a lot of prepping, a lot of things behind the scenes, and then being there. I like to crochet the entire time that I'm there. I feel like it brings people in. Every time somebody will say like, oh, she's crocheting. Oh, like you actually crochet your stuff. And it's a really good feeling because people get to see that, you know, you're not reselling. This is actually what you're doing. And so I think I crocheted a few bucket hats for Labubus while I was there. I always take yarn. I always take like stuffing. I take my hooks. I take everything that I need to crochet things. And then I take 1 or 2 patterns to work throughout the event. And I get very, very sidetracked and I skip stitches and I have to start over. I have to frog and things. But it's okay, right? Because people get to see that you're actually crocheting your stuff. Overall, I really love this event. I would definitely work with these organizers again. Everything was so organized. I would go, if I wasn't selling, I would go to this event. It was a lot of fun. And so I would definitely do it again. Today is Sunday and I had my second market on Friday, which was 2 days ago, and this was the Plant Party Night Market. It was in San Jose, and so let me just say that this was the first event where I went and I saw an organizer walking around the entire event, you know, talking with the vendors, purchasing stuff from all of the vendors, and, you know, being super interactive and being an amazing organizer. When you go around and you're asking them how the vendors are doing and if they need anything and things like that, if you were nervous at all, it makes you feel not nervous at all. And it makes you feel great that as an organizer, they care about you and what you're vending and what you're doing and that they're happy for you to be there. And it was the very first night market that I did. It was outdoors at a flea market. Unloading was a breeze. This was a 10 by 10 space. And it was actually $50 for the entrance, which is the lowest I have ever paid. At first, when you think like, oh, I don't pay that much, maybe you're not going to make as much. But actually, you guys, it was the other way around. It went really great for me. And this was only from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. When I walked around, I saw about 3 other crochet vendors, but this wasn't crochet focus. This was a plant focus. So everybody had a plant going home. Like everybody that I saw was carrying a plant or, you know, would go to all the plant vendors and see what they had. I know nothing about plants, okay? My mom loves plants. Every time she's given me one, they don't last. I forget to water them. I don't know nothing about plants, you guys. But if I really was into plants, this would be like heaven for me because everything was plant related. Mostly, of course, there was vendors here and there that weren't, but it's mostly geared towards like plant lovers. We just go through everything that I sold. So the booth fee was $50. But at 4:30, my cousin and all of his kids came and they came and say hello and stuff while I was setting up. and they actually bought 2 mystery Funkos and one of my mini turtles. So before the event actually started, I had already made back half of what I had spent at the booth, which was great. So thank you for purchasing for me. It's always great when family comes and visits you and they love your work and, you know, they buy things from you. It makes you feel really good. And a lot of my family doesn't even know that I crochet. I kind of just mention like, oh, I crochet, you know, things like that. But when they see like my full 10 by 10 booth, they're like shocked. At 5 p.m. is when the market started, and I sold 2 more mystery Funkos, Donkey, Spider-Man Funko, Miss Rachel, a mini turtle, and a rat. Now, I also want to say that for this particular market, I shared the booth with my boyfriend who sells Funkos. So we had 2 8-foot tables. I took one 8-foot table, and then he took another one. He filled one up with all of his Funkos, and then I filled mine up with all of my crochet stuff, and it looked really cool. So I'm going to show you guys what the outcome looked like and stuff, but I just didn't get to record because I was jamming out the whole time with the great music that they had. It was live music, and I don't know if I mentioned at the first market, it was a DJ. It was a lot of fun as well. I sold a Stormtrooper and a Soda Pop before 6. From 6 to 7, I sold a Big Venom, a Funko Pop, a rat, a blueberry, and a dolphin, a rat, and a mushy boy. From 7 to 8, I sold Boots, which I'm super excited that he went to his new owner because I have had him for a few markets. I thought he was so cute and adorable, and a girl found him there and fell in love, and she took him home. So I think it's great that he got sold, and I was super happy. And I sold, well, my boyfriend sold 9 Funkos from 7 to 8. I didn't write the times for this one, you guys. I don't know why I didn't. I did sell throughout the entire event, but I just didn't write the times after 5 o'clock, so everything's like all mushed together. But yeah, I was really excited also, you guys, that Miss Rachel finally sold. Now, this was one of like my showstoppers at every event. I've had her since I think the first event. And I can't even tell you guys how many times little kids have walked by, like tiny, tiny babies that can like talk, right? Like are barely starting to talk. And they would point at Miss Rachel, or if they were a little older, they would say Miss Rachel. But I would say at least 10 to 15 kids per market would point her out and love her. She was a little bit on the pricier side just because it took me a long time and it is really detailed. And it looked just like Miss Rachel. So I was very happy that she went to her forever home. So thank you guys for watching today's recap video. It was a little bit on the longer side, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. I also want to thank anybody that comes to the markets, looks at my things, or even purchases. It means a lot, even if you take a business card and follow me on my social media and stuff. All the compliments that I get, it makes me so happy. And don't forget that I do have an Etsy shop, CrochetwithMaira, where you can message me for any custom orders that you're interested in. And I also have listings. I do list a lot of these products that I do list a lot of these items that I take to markets. And right before the market, I actually close my shop so that way it doesn't interfere with any purchases or anything like that. And then after the market, I take down all the listings that sold at the market, then I reopen my shop. So I have been doing that for a few weeks now, and like I said, my commissions are open as of now. So if you're interested, feel free to message me on my Etsy shop, which is the easiest way to communicate with me for any custom orders for plushies and accessories. So thank you so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.